You're being lied to about plastic. June 5th is World Environment Day, and in commemoration of this International Earth Day, I'd like to talk about something that is second nature to most homeowners, yet from what I've come to find out is a complete hoax, and that is plastic recycling. For decades, a lot of us have had that blue bin that sits out front with our regular trash every week, and in it, we throw our recyclables. Paper, cardboard, metal, and plastic have all gone into this bin. And in doing so, it relieves a bit of guilt every time we stock up at the grocery store on water bottles, yogurt cups, or any other single-use plastic bag or container. We throw it in and assume that those disposables are headed to a different destination, destined to be repurposed and made anew. However, a recent NPR investigative piece shows that not only is plastic recycling not economically viable, and therefore most of it simply ends up in landfills, but that the plastic and oil industry knew about these realities as early as the late 70s. Starting in the mid-80s, the industry began suffering from negative public perception as plastic waste was piling up with nowhere to go. Local municipalities started passing laws outlawing the sale of single-use plastics, and the plastic industry began to perk up. They formed the Council for Solid Waste Solutions, which poured money into starting up recycling programs around the country that the industry knew weren't sustainable. They also began running heavy advertising campaigns touting the miracles of plastics. Remember this commercial from the early 90s?
Presenting the possibilities of plastics. Plastics help save you from dents and broken bones.
It helped protect my patella.
And it worked. The industry saw their polling numbers jump dramatically from a 30% favorability rating in the 80s to a 60% rating in the 90s. They also saw those local plastic bans disappear. And those recycling programs that the plastics industry started, nearly all of them stopped after just a few years due to not being economically sustainable. The reality is, it's always been cheaper to create new plastic than it is to sort, clean, melt, and reform the old stuff. Sure, we found some places to put our plastic waste in the meantime. For years, China was the main purchaser of the raw recyclables from the US and allowed us to outsource our plastic problem. But in 2017, they stopped taking our plastic, and now many recycling programs have restricted or simply stopped accepting plastic altogether. All said and done, just 10% of the plastic we create is actually recycled. The rest is buried or incinerated. But that hasn't stopped the plastic industry from pushing the narrative of recycling. You can find those little arrows on nearly every plastic container you buy. The truth is, the only real way to solve the problem isn't to recycle or reuse, but sharply reduce our consumption of plastic. I put a link to the NPR article I'm referring to, as well as a PBS Frontline episode on this same subject in the description of this video. Give them a read and a watch. They are well produced and eye-opening. So tell me, do you and your family recycle? And if so, do you feel it's gotten harder in the last few years? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget, subscribe to my channel for more tips.